doctor said if we had waited 24 more hours, she would not be here today. That's scary. It moves that quick.
That is very scary. Now in 5:30, a Warren County family so thankful their teenage daughter is alive. That teen contracted a potentially deadly flesh-eating bacteria while canoeing on the Little Miami River.
This is really so concerning. 9 on Your Side reporter TJ Parker shares their story and what you need to know before you head out on the water.
Kaylee Coletta was canoeing on the Little Miami River when she got that flesh-eating bacteria. She's recovering, and now she has a warning for others.
I didn't want to lose a foot, so I'm glad that I came out with 2 feet.
And also glad she has her life. Kaylee Coletta is recovering from a life-threatening infection she got through a scab on her foot from an autoimmune disease she has.
They said that there was a chance that if we didn't control it, that it could have went to my bloodstream, so I'm glad that it didn't.
Kaylee was canoeing on the Little Miami River when it happened. She says she bandaged her wound so it wouldn't get infected, but a few days later she came down with a fever and her foot turned black.
Yeah, it was awful. It was very scary.
Her mother, Kathy, acted quickly, taking her to Children's Hospital, where she spent 8 days and had 3 surgeries.
The doctor said if we had waited 24 more hours, she would not be here today. That's scary. It moves that quick.
The bacteria gets in through the skin, usually when you're in fresh water. Sometimes the germ may already be on you. Doctors say it can cause a lot of damage, and if not treated quickly, it can have deadly consequences.
If the infection is serious, some people get very, very sick. They develop, organ failure.
If you go into the water with a wound, use a waterproof bandage and always carry an antiseptic to treat any cuts.
She's a very lucky girl. Absolutely.
Tonight, both Kathy and Kaylee thankful they caught it in time and a little leery of ever getting back in the river.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of scarred.
In Warren County, I'm TJ Parker, 9 on Your Side.
Flags at the beach on Palm Beach due to high bacteria levels. Workers were out today doing another test to see when people can go back into the water. News Channel 5's Katie Johnson talked to a lifeguard who said he's never seen anything like this before.
It's such a nice day. Look at the water.
Madison Block and her friend are taking a quick trip to the beach before school starts.
The water is extremely flat, so it's perfect. It would be perfect to swim in.
The problem is there's no swimming here, not today.
Last week we had the big surf. We closed the beach for big surf. And this week we have to close the beach for bacteria.
You can't see it, but it's there in the water. Bacteria stemming from the intestines of a warm-blooded animal. The health department made the discovery yesterday after getting test results back from its bi-weekly checks of area beaches.
Could be any number of factors, from even just like a cruise ship dumping, for example, or a freighter that might be in the ocean, or some sort of warm-blooded wildlife.
The tests were done between Boca and Jupiter, with Palm Beach being the only beach to have high levels of bacteria in the water.
That's really gross. That's a thing that shouldn't happen.
So today, most beachgoers stayed out of the water, spending their time on the sand. But there were some who missed the signs and still went in for a dip, only to get called out by a lifeguard.
People come to the beach, expect to go swimming. As you can see, the weather's beautiful out. The water's perfect for swimming today, and we have to basically chase everyone out of the water. So it is frustrating.
Jacob Allers was boating near Central Florida when the 13-year-old scraped his foot on some wood along the coast.
And then I got this pain, and it really hurt.
The next day, his foot nearly tripled in size. Doctors found that his open wound and the warm Gulf waters allowed him to contract a potentially deadly bacteria known as Vibrio vulnificus. This kind of infection is especially common in coastal waters during the summer. 12 cases have been reported in Florida so far this year. 3 people have died, including one just this week in Sarasota. Epidemiologist Michael Drennan is with the county's health department and says the bacteria can enter the body through a small cut and can eventually lead to a drop in blood pressure, skin blisters, and even death.
The opportunity for infection is going to depend on the wound. So the more significant the wound, obviously the more chance for becoming infected.
Jacob is now taking antibiotics to clear up his infection. But health officials warn those with weak immune systems should take extra care to cover up wounds or scratches before taking a dip this summer. Bigat Shaban, CBS News.
Guy who lost his leg after a trip to Fort Myers Beach, urging you and other people to think before you swim. He believes the murky water caused by those Lake Okeechobee releases to our area is directly to blame for his injury. And this is just the latest, of several gruesome claims about our water. 4 in the Corner's Deborah Souverain taking these concerns straight to the Department of Health. Deborah?
Yeah, Patrick, they're telling me that Lee County and Collier County beaches are safe for swimming. But if you take a look at the Southwest Florida Clean Water Movement's Facebook page, it tells a very different story. Photos of a severe bacterial infection on the Southwest Florida Clean Water Movement's Facebook page, and a message posted this morning claiming a trip to a Southwest Florida beach left a young girl hospitalized with a flesh-eating bacteria.
It's without question an uptick. Certainly within the last month, there has been nonstop flurry of pictures, stories. There's something with this water they're not telling us.
John monitors the site. He's spoken with countless people who claim they contracted a flesh-eating infection after taking a dip in our waters. Zachary is one of them.
I am a little nervous to be next to this water after what happened to me a year ago. Right about this time last year was a year that I got released from the hospital, as a matter of fact.
His right leg had to be amputated last year. He says he was walking along Fort Myers Beach when water entered a small scratch on his foot. 24 hours later, he says he was rushed into surgery for a bacterial infection called Vibrio vulnificus. I asked the Department of Health about the bacteria. I was told it naturally occurs in warm salt or brackish water, and infections are rare, but exposures occur commonly during the summer months from May to October. Adding people with open wounds or a weakened immune system are at a higher risk.
Don't go in the water with a cut, so who's supposed to tell you when the water's bad if you don't know? Is it up to you to test that water before you get in there and let your family members get into it? Was I supposed to carry a test kit that day to walk into the water?
Since 2014, there have been 3 confirmed cases of Vibrio vulnificus in Lee County, 2 ending in death. Zach feels his infection was caused by Lake O discharges. He says he'll keep fighting for answers to whether our waters are truly safe for swimming.
But I won't give up. I won't stop fighting either.
If you think you contracted an infection from the beach, you're urged to contact the Department of Health. A link to their site can be found in this story on our website, fox4now.com. Live in studio, Deborah Souverain, Fox 4, in your corner.
This is what 6-year-old Bella is known for, her smile. You never guess it's the same little girl in this picture.
I was scared at first and just a little horrified, and she was in a lot of pain, so I was just concerned for her.
Bella's mom, Nicole Sullivan, says she went to Huntington Beach with her father on Saturday. She had a small cut on her face, but they never thought that would lead to what it did.
I thought maybe it was poison ivy, so I just put some Caladryl lotion on it and some Benadryl. Tuesday morning she woke up and both eyes were completely closed shut and she was completely swollen. Her face and her neck and then her arms also.
Sullivan says Bella's doctor diagnosed her with impetigo. It's a bacterial infection they believe Bella developed after the water got into her scrape.
So she's been on steroids. She has had some shots of antibiotic, oral antibiotics, antibiotic creams.
Environmental Health Manager Gary Hagee tells News 3 there was a swimming advisory due to high levels of bacteria in the water here at Huntington Beach last week, but it was lifted before the weekend. The most recent test 2 days ago, and it showed that the levels were safe. Hagee says the bacteria levels can change constantly, so swimmers should always be aware that there is a risk. That's the message Sullivan wants to get out to other parents as well.
See if they have any openings in their skin. Hold off on going to the beach, perhaps, if you do see anything like that, or cover them up really well, because I wouldn't want anything like that to happen to any other kids. It's very painful.
I have been looking forward to this. Amy Copeland is the definition of resilience. And for me and countless others, she is certainly a source of inspiration. Amy captured the nation's attention after a terrible accident in 2012 left her a quadruple amputee. Since then, she has continued to defy the odds, refusing to let anything hold her back. We're going to speak to her in a moment, but first, here's a look at Amy's story. 4 years ago, Amy Copeland's life forever changed after a ziplining adventure turned tragic.
I remember hearing the sound of the wire snapping.
The accident left her with a deep wound that became infected by an aggressive flesh-eating bacteria. In order to save her life, doctors amputated Amy's left leg, right foot, and both hands. This morning, we are seeing the first photograph of Amy Copeland. The nation watched as Amy battled back. Miraculously, just 4 months after the accident, Amy made her public debut on Katie and showed incredible strides in her recovery. Today, thanks to her spirit, determination, and new high-tech prostheses designed by specialist Randy Alley,
see how that feels. Much better.
Amy is regaining her independence, embracing her new normal, and spreading her message of optimism despite any obstacle.
Go! No matter what challenges in life you face, if you want something bad enough, you will find a way.
And Amy certainly has done that. Amy Copeland and Randy Alley join us now. It's the first time in our studios for both of them. Please give them a warm welcome to be joining us. Yes. It's great to have you both here. Amy, my goodness, you're making history. You're making history.
Thank you.
First quadruple amputee to have this type of prosthesis. What was it like the first time you tried them on?
Well, you know, I've tried different prosthetic devices over the years, and last summer when Randy and his team fit me in just 3 days, the first time I tried them on, it was like totally different than anything I'd ever experienced. They just felt like a part of me, an extension of my natural arm, just like the real thing. So it was amazing.
I bet it was. And Randy, tell us what's so innovative about this.
Well, traditional sockets don't really control the bone inside very well, so everything feels like it's slopping around. It's very heavy and unstable. And what we do is a patented way of compressing and releasing around the tissue so that the bone inside is fixated or stabilized, so that it feels like a part of you, becomes a part of you instead of something attached to you.
And that's what's so important, because you want it to be a part of you and not to feel like
absolutely
that it's an extension. Both of you are changing lives, and I know that your intent is to help others, but those that you help, Randy, inspire you and help you in the end in your company, right?
Can never have a bad day. It's just an awesome thing to be able to do and be a part of. They're the stars of the show, but we like to have a little piece of that.
Oh, well, you are being very, very, very humble. And you, Amy, the way that we saw at the end of the piece, you know, you're going speaking, you have 2 master's degrees now. One wasn't enough, you have 2. You have 2 very special internships. What is it that you speak to people about? What is your message to them?
You know, I think compassion was a huge part of my healing, working with organizations like Friends of Disabled Adults and Children, seeing little kids who are in wheelchairs. When you're helping others, you're not focused on yourself. You're not focused on what you're lacking. It makes you grateful, and it makes you pass on that gratitude to others. So I strongly recommend that anyone who's facing struggles go out and help other people, and you'd be surprised at how much it actually helps you.
And you make it look easy, and I know it hasn't. I know it hasn't been for you. So tell us what has been the most difficult part and what got you through those difficult times.
You know, we all have those dark nights of the soul, those difficult times when I'm trying to do something and everything is going wrong. I think having friends and family around, actually my best friend, Corbin of 10 years, is in the studio audience today, and he has been a tremendous lifesaver for me throughout this entire experience. My family, my studies, the whole community really just banded together, and I think the support system is one of the most important things. All you need is love.
That's true, and you have that in abundance. And Randy, you've worked with others. Bethany Hamilton, who we know very well. What happened with her with the shark encounter? How do these people cross your paths?
Well, it's a small field, and I've been doing it for a long time. But you get a reputation for focusing on certain things, and the interface, the socket part, is what we focus on at BioDesigns, and we hope we're kind of marching things forward a little bit.
And speaking of marching forward, you are paying it forward. Tell us about this nonprofit nature center that you're trying to bring about.
Yeah, so I love the outdoors. I love being outside, and as soon as I became disabled, I was like, okay, so where's the nature centers for people like me? And I was disappointed to find that there were none in my area. So my goal after I become a licensed clinical social worker is to combine my counseling with full mind, body, spiritual growth, and to focus on the outdoors, community gardening, and helping people to just fully immerse themselves in nature.
And I understand that you fully enjoy bagels. Didn't you mention that?
Yes.
So your mom, your beautiful mom, Donna, you said you wanted bagels to go back with you.
New York bagels.
Thank you. Yes, so you can bring these back to the ATL with you.
That's
Maybe you'll
awesome.
share them with Randy as
We'll
well.
see.
We'll see. We got Wolfgang Puck upstairs too.
Yeah.
So you got it. So bless you and thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. We appreciate that.
Now, this is a story that we first told you about on Eyewitness News at 5. Elevated levels of bacteria in the ocean are leading officials to close some beaches at the Jersey Shore. Most of the closures right now are in Atlantic County, including several spots in Atlantic City, Summers Point, and Ventnor. Eyewitness News reporter Cleve Bryan was in Ventnor earlier. He spoke with officials about what's causing this problem.
Red flags and beach closed signs on the lifeguard stands in Ventnor as beachgoers were told the ocean is off limits.
They just told us to get out of the water because it's dirty. I'm like, that's nice.
Health officials issued high bacteria advisories and ordered closures at several Ventnor beaches, prompting the city to shut down every beach as a precaution. They say the bacteria counts are simply a result of recent weather.
It is thought to be as a result of the heavy rain that was seen on Sunday evening.
Statewide, there were more than 30 advisories and 3 closures on Tuesday. New testing on Wednesday lowered the number of advisories to 4, but increased the closures to 15 beaches, including Atlantic City, Ventnor, and Summers Point.
This is a membrane filtration technique.
When advisories occur, the Atlantic County Utilities Authority evaluates the water on a daily basis, looking for a specific type of bacteria that indicates the presence of more dangerous varieties.
Since they are present in the digestive systems of warm-blooded animals, the presence of these may indicate the presence of certain pathogens.
Basically, they're looking to see how high a concentration of bacteria is in the water caused by animal feces washing into the ocean after major rainstorms.
I can't believe I was in it.
Officials say you can get stomach illnesses or rashes from too much bacteria, which is why there's no swimming. And unfortunately for soon-to-be 10-year-old Bianca Tavella, no using the boogie board she got for her birthday.
I was sad a little bit because I didn't get to go in the water with it.
Health officials say, in general, high bacteria levels because of rain events only last for a couple days. And officials here in Ventnor say they'll reevaluate on Thursday, but conservatively don't expect to be in the water before noon. In Ventnor, I'm Cleve Bryan, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.